more. Got Chelsea coming in.
Okay, it's recording now.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And people are going to join as they come in. For those of you who are listening before we started recording, today I'm going to primarily discuss opportunities. And then if you have any questions along the way, feel free to chime in. How Command works, there's many different ways that Command works, but there's a bit of a process. So the very first step to being able to do anything in Command is you have to have a contact or contacts. And we do lots of training on that. If you want some information on that, I can send you some videos that we have on our YouTube channel that go over how to add contacts and different things and how you can assign contacts. Tina. And how you can assign contacts and the different things that you can do with that. Once you have contacts, that allows you to create an opportunity. So that's step 2. And opportunities are going to be how you track your funnel and your leads and things like that. The reason you need to have opportunities is opportunities will allow you then to submit your paperwork and create transactions to the brokerage. So if you want to be digital and submitting your documents to the brokerage, you first need to have contacts, then you need to have an opportunity, and then from there you can submit your documents into the brokerage. So I'm going to start just very quickly to show you how to add a contact. So I'm going to share my screen. And we will go from here. All right, so can everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to dial it back one quick step. So sorry, I got a lot of pages open here this morning. And Jessica, do you mind keeping attendance for today?
Yep, I already am.
All right, awesome.
And I'll admit people as they come, so you don't have to worry about that.
Perfect. So as you can see, here's my homepage. I don't have tasks set up here in Command just yet, but if you needed to add a contact, you simply click on the contact bar on the side. Of course, my computer decides to be slow today. Windows. And Chris, as you can see here, there's an add contact feature right here up in the top right corner. If you click on that, it's just going to prompt you through all the steps on how to add a contact: name, phone number, email, and various types of information. As for tags, what you see here, I recommend that you just watch the YouTube video on contacts, and it'll explain why you tag your clients.
Okay.
All right. I saw somebody raise their hand. We have a question? No? Okay. So I'm going to focus on opportunities today. So on the sidebar here, you have a bunch of different options, but we're going to focus on opportunities, and it's the two hands that are shaking together. So you click on this, and that's going to bring you to your opportunity homepage. So mine are going to load up. So these are the opportunities that I currently have in my database. Now, I do need to add some opportunities in, but this first window is very telling, and it's very telling for a number of reasons. One, you can see under listings that I have 3 that I'm cultivating, 3 under appointment, but I have no active, no under contract, and no closed. So I know I have a lot of work to do here, and I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks that's going to change quite dramatically. But this is not, as you're updating your opportunities, you move them along this line, which I'm going to get into in more detail here. But this is just a quick bird's eye view of what's going on with my listings. Now, if you look over here, my potential income is $37,000. That's if I cash in all 6 of these listings, but my probable income is only $6,900. And the reason why it's only $6,900 is because I have percentages set along these stages as to what are the chances are they finally firm up. So it's just a nice bird's eye view to see where you're where you are in your funnel and who you're working with on your listings. And I'm going to come back to this page later. This is going to make a lot more sense here in about a half an hour. Then down under buyers, you see I have a little more volume going on down here. Like everybody, it seems I've got 9 active, 3 under contract, and 1 just closed. My potential income down here is $228,000. My probable low is only 97. So when I see a gap like that, it means that I really need to start moving more and more clients along this funnel, because too many of them are back here and I need to start getting more and more under contract. So this is just a quick bird's eye view. Now I can go up here and I can click on all opportunities. By clicking on all opportunities, it just shows a different view of the opportunities that I have. And it goes all the way back to all the opportunities that I've ever put in, which you can see here is 68. And that means most of those would have closed, because I typically don't delete opportunities unless they just, I'm pretty good at converting my opportunities. So when you come into here, so this is now just a different way to view your opportunities. We have the name, our opportunities, by the address now. So when I first put an opportunity in, that's by the client's name. But once they go into contract, to help the brokerage, we have to change them to the address that they are. It allows the brokerage to come in and pull the documents quicker. So you'll see here that I have 162 Cutter Drive, and then in brackets, I've put the client's name. Here I had 40 Bering Lane, and then in brackets, I put the client's name. We have to be doing this now for the brokerage. If you go back and look at a lot of my earlier opportunities from 1.5 years or 2 years ago, they're all by the name of the client. So I start my opportunities by the name of the client, and then once they get under contract into a home, I move them, I change the name of the opportunity. Then here's the address that they've all transacted with. You can see here type. So you have buyers and you have sellers. I'm very heavy on the buyer side, so something needs to change there. Then under contract, so then it shows all the ones that have closed. And then down here, the volume, the commission amount, and the closing date. And then I've also tagged my opportunities. The reason I tag my opportunities is because I want to know where those opportunities are coming from. So at the end of the year, when I go back and I look on all the deals I've done, I can very quickly filter my opportunities to see if my social media ad campaigns have worked, to see if farming a geographical area has worked, to see if, you'll see right here on my screen, I have Goresbrook. Well, Goresbrook was a condo project that I worked on for 4 years, and I actually did fairly well at pulling some opportunities out of that and turning them into other transactions. But I tag my opportunities because I want to know at the end of the year where all of my deals are coming from. Now I can also filter my opportunities here. By filtering, I can look at listings, I can look at buyers, I can look at just the ones that are under cultivating, so under different stages of my opportunities. And then I can also filter them under contact, under the tags I've created. So if I wanted to, I can go here and I can just click on, I've created these tags. I'm going to show you how to do that, but I play a lot of hockey. So I'm just going to click on filter hockey and hit apply. And now I'm looking at just the opportunities I've done through hockey. It's actually not as much as I thought. I'm going to delete that. And now I want to see opportunities that I've tagged as my sphere of influence. Okay, these are my people. These are my friends, my family, people I know, people in my circle. Very different. Let this load up. But suddenly here I have 32 opportunities that I've done from my sphere of influence. So clearly I'm very good at convincing my cousins and my friends to buy and sell their houses with me. So it's important that the more information you put into your opportunities as you go along, the better it is going to be for you later, because you can come back and see where your business is coming from. If you had just asked me on the street, Phil, where does your business come from? I actually probably would have said I do quite a bit of business out of hockey. Either I'm not tagging my opportunities, or I'm not doing as much business from hockey as I thought I was, because only 3 opportunities just came up. Any questions to that? So let's get into how to create an opportunity. And okay, just trying to think of a deal I'm working on right now. I got one. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my home page here, Bill Evans, and I want to create an opportunity. So I'm going to hit this button right here. So now this here screen pops up. So it's a listing opportunity. We got an accepted offer this morning. So now I need to sell her house. I already have her as a contact. So all I had to do was type her name in, and that's automatically going to pop up. And by just populating it, now it comes up as her name and the listing. Well, I know that this deal, we're going to put this on the market on Tuesday, and I already know the address. So I'm just going to save my time later. And I'm going to call this opportunity 6 Chadwick Place. If any of you guys know anyone who wants a 3-bedroom condo in Clayton Park for $249,900, it's coming on the market on Tuesday. So I've named it. I've attached the person that is going to be assigned to. Now I'm going to add my custom tags to it. My custom tags: past client, sphere of influence, Goresbrook Park, web lead, hockey, postcards. I used to work with Andrew Perkins, so he used to give me some business, so he is in there. Family, and a listing lead. Now your tags can be whatever you want. Maybe you CrossFit, or maybe you have a social media campaign you've been running. This is a past client of mine. But you know what? She also kind of came from my sphere of influence. So I'm going to put 2 tags on her. And that's where, and so that's how that, so those are the 2 tags I'm going to associate with this opportunity. I also know that in this market, we want like a May 7th closing. So I'm actually going to put in May 7th, estimated close date. Okay. I know that the estimated list price, we're probably going to get about, I don't know, in this market, I have no idea, but to be fair, right now, I'm just going to put $275. Now, because I just sold her a home, I've agreed to do 2% commission on the listing. And then I have to put it into the phase that it's at. Right now, it's not active. It's at appointment. I'm going to go through these phases with you shortly. So it's at the appointment phase, and the SDBA is getting signed today. So I'm actually going to just save myself some homework, and I'm going to put it immediately to the seller designated brokerage agreement being signed. And then I'm going to hit create. So now I've created the opportunity. And there's some more information here that I can put in. So even though I called it 6 Chadwick Place, it didn't pull that address. So now I'm going to hit the edit button here. And as I type the address in, it's just going to come up. There it is there. I click that. It automates everything. I hit save. So now we have the property address. Another thing you may want to do, which I've started to do now, is fill in some of these dates over here. The time frame, the appointment schedule, the appointment dates, the agreement one, the reason you want to put these dates in is because it's going to show you later how long it takes you to work with some of your opportunities. So you can actually see what your return on time invested is. So that's very powerful as well. And you can backdate it. So I'm going to edit this. Now, the time frame here is really closer to 3 months because I've been helping her buy a house for 2. We had an appointment. We started looking at houses in December, but we really had our first appointment back in like the middle of January. This is not perfect, but I know when it was. I scheduled the appointment. I held the appointment right away. I know I did. So let's say we called it. So I'm just going to put these dates in. And I know that I got that listing, even though I didn't sign. So I didn't sign this STBA that day as I should have, but I know that I had that listing that day. Now, I still don't have the contract signed, so I'm not going to put that in. And we don't know the actual closing date, so I'm going to leave that blank. But again, I just want to give my opportunity as much information as possible. So now I have all that in. And I'm not a team yet, but once I'm in the process of doing that, once I'm a team, I can assign it. We can assign these opportunities to team members or team leads and things like that. Any questions so far? Okay. That's how you create an opportunity. Before I go the next step, I'm actually going to come out of this. Sorry?
Excuse me, I have one question.
Yep.
Sphere of influence, what do you consider your sphere?
I
do you
consider
gauge
my
that?
sphere my family and my immediate friends. And I'll even take it one step further. If one of my family members or my immediate friends refer a client, I would then also consider that sphere of influence because I got that opportunity because you know, one of my good friends referred their cousin to me. But I guess the real answer there is you can create custom tags for whatever you want them to be, and you can design the parameters for them as well. So that's a great question. I've never actually thought or laid out a true definition of what sphere of influence is, but I kind of roughly know if somebody came and I consider them a sphere of influence opportunity or a lead. But that's a great question. So before I go further, let's go back out into the opportunity stage.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Is there a way of importing your clients
Yes.
without physically importing them, without physically doing it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There is, and we do training on that. I'm not the right
Okay.
person to ask. Aaron is really good. Jessica, I don't know if that's something you're familiar with.
Okay. Yeah, I got a meeting with Erin on Monday morning, so I'll ask her.
Yeah, so Erin is awesome at importing your database.
Okay.
And ahead of that, if you want to send me an email, I will reply to you right away this morning with some training we've done on contacts. And
Okay.
I would recommend you watch that prior to your meeting with Erin.
Okay.
Because like opportunities, you want the more information you put into contacts, the better your database is going to be. I've started to do
Okay.
birthday cards this year, and it's been a huge hit only 3 months in. But the only way to do birthday cards is if you've inputted all the birthdays of all the clients
Birthdays.
you've ever dealt with. So the
Correct.
more
Okay.
information you give this system, the more it's going to allow you to do later. So
How do
now,
I get, sorry, how do I get my email to you?
phil.evans@kw.com. Did you get that?
Yep.
phil.evans@kw.com. Okay,
Yep.
so now we're back here on my homepage, and you guys will see that my potential income now has increased to $42,000, and my probable income has come up to $9,600 because I've added that opportunity. So that's almost a $6,000 opportunity, which is why we see the potential income raise go up 6,000, but the probable only came up 3. I'm going to show you why. So now I'm going to go into this here. So you'll see here that I have created 5 stages of an opportunity. We cultivate them, then we create appointments, then they become active opportunities, then they become under contract opportunities, and then they go closed. So let's start right back at cultivate. Within cultivate, I have 3 more stages. I have watching them, nurturing them, and I have a hot lead. So cultivating is really when they're just leads. Okay, so these are people I know are thinking of selling their house at some point in time, and I've been in contact with them. Larry Allen obviously is in our brokerage. He is here not because he's an opportunity of mine. Him and I just do a lot of deals together, and we send a lot of paperwork back and forth. So I've actually created an opportunity for Larry just as an easy way for him and I to send documents to each other and sign contracts and things like that. So that's a little bit of a cheat. But you'll also notice that I have assigned percentages along here as well. These percentages, so when I have opportunities in one of these 3 stages, this is the percentage of the chance I think they're going to turn into an actual transaction at some point down the road. These numbers are a little arbitrary, but they have to be. So just because I know somebody is going to sell their house someday, that doesn't mean much. But actually, you know what? You see here, Delage, that's a past client. So I feel pretty good about that hot lead. You know, this next one here, I felt pretty good about it. I don't feel so good anymore. I may actually bring that back to nurture. Okay. So now this is the percentage. So if this is a $9,400 opportunity, on that home screen, it's only going to pull 10% of that as probable income, because I have this stage only at 10% that they actually transact. Now you can change these to whatever you want them to be. And how you do that is you literally just go edit stages. So you come up here to edit stages, you click on it, and now under cultivate, I have watch, nurture, and hot. I can delete them, or I can edit them, or I can add a stage. Even cooler, I can actually create checklists within each of these stages. So So let's check on my, under watch, receive all their, let's just say this is somebody you've never met before. It comes in off a Facebook lead. Well, it's early. You're trying to cultivate that lead. Have you retrieved their contact? Right? You add contact to command. So I've done that. You've created an opportunity. I've done that. And then do you have a smart plan set up to touch on that lead on its own automatically? So these are tasks that I've created. There's actually a task list. I'm going to see if Erin has that. Jessica, do you have the task list?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll make a note to ask Erin though.
There is a task list. And then within these tasks, I can edit them here as well. I can move them up or down, I can delete them, and I can add them. Okay? That's just within the, this is just within the cultivate stages. So I'm not going to save anything here. I don't want to change anything. I just want to save it. But now, do you know what? Delage. And then as you move them along, so down here, do you see how it says 0 for 3, 0 for 1, 0 for 0? Well, what that means is I haven't checked off their tasks as completed within these stages. Any questions? Okay. Next, we move to appointment. Here, I have my percentages set at 10%, 25%, and 50%. Once an SDBA signs, it's now, I consider it 50% percent chance that it transact. Now, I set this up 2 years ago when we weren't in this market. I could probably, in this market now, you get an SDBA sign, you're going to market, you could probably make that 100%. But I'm going to keep it right here for now. And then again, within this here, so under the appointment stage, I have 3 other stages. Scheduling, scheduled, and SDBA. And I actually want to update this. Scheduling, scheduled is, I've scheduled an appointment to go meet with them. Now there's just more, now they're more than just somebody I've met or came through as a Facebook lead. And then once I've met with them, then I go SDBA signed. But you can have as many or as little stages as you want along the way. It's entirely up to you. Then we go active. So once they are active, they've signed the SDBA. I have staging and photos. I haven't changed the percentage here. I have showings have started. We have an accepted offer. And I don't know why the American version has this legacy stage along the way. I'm actually going to delete that. So all I did there, just so you guys know, so I'll slow it down and just show you one more time. I have 4 stages under active. I don't want this legacy. I don't even know what it means. It's an American thing. But I'm going to click edit stages. I'm going to go to legacy and I'm going to delete it. Now, if you go under staging and photos, I have 6 tasks that need to be done at this stage. So I have to book a photographer. I have to get a sold sign put up. I have to write FinTrack IDs. I need to get the documents to the seller. I have to write the property disclosure statement, and I have to submit all those documents to the office. That's pretty important and pretty useful stuff. And if you're hiring an assistant or admin, the more of this that you can have for them along the way, the easier it's going to be when you want to delegate some of your workload. You can literally say, look, we've got this new listing, the paperwork's signed. I need you to go on in there and look at the tasks. What are you need to book a photographer, put the sold sign up. These are all different tasks. There's there's another 10 tasks I could add to this stage here just alone. So that stage is here again. Then they go under contract. Once they're under contract, we have inspections. Now it's up to 90%. Praising and financing. I could probably marry these two stages together. They're kind of the same, financing and inspections. It's really just be called conditions. And then once it's clear to close, then it goes, I put it at 98%. Because very rarely does a deal fall through once it goes firm. And then finally, once it is firm, then you move it over to your closed file. And again, they have this legacy here, which I'm going to delete. And closed is at 100%. So you can start to see that as you move. So if we go back to my homepage on opportunities, you can see why these numbers change along the way. And I want my potential income to be as high, way higher than 42,000, but I want my probable income to not be so far behind it. Right now, is less than 25% of my probable. That means I've got my opportunities are too far away. I need to start moving some of these opportunities up. Does it make sense?
Yep.
This is really, really powerful stuff. And again, the more information you feed the system, the better it is. And I say this every time I do this training, you cannot break it. So if I encourage all of you to just play around and put yourself in as an opportunity, put your mom or dad or your brother, your sister, your cousin, whomever in as an opportunity, and just play around and make the system work for you. You may look at my opportunities and you might think they don't make any sense. You may have more tasks, you may have more stages. Build it however you want it to. It's a really, really cool feature. Now, before I move on to the next step, I want to show you guys how to create tags, because tags I think, are extremely valuable. You want to know where your business is coming from. So what you do is you go up underneath your drop-down menu next to where you see your name up in the top right corner, and you click on settings. Over here under settings, you go to command settings, and that drops down. And then you see opportunity settings, another drop down. And then you see opportunity tags. You click on that. These are the opportunity tags that I have. They're a past client, sphere of influence, Goresbrook, a web lead, hockey, postcards, Perkins referral, family, listing lead. I do, what I don't have in here, social media ads, right? But wherever you think your opportunities are coming from, put them in here and color coordinate them however you want. There is a color coordinating scheme as well that some people have and use. I'd have to get that for you as well. But I encourage you to create the tags that make sense for you and your business. And I encourage you to tag your opportunities, as I've stated like 3 times already. So a year from now, at the end of the year, the end of the month, you can look back and see where all your business is coming from. And again, very simple stuff. You can edit it here with the button. You can delete it, or you just click on this button, create a tag. You call it what you want. So here, I'm going to do it. Social media campaign. And I'm going to color coordinate that one. Shouldn't be this fussy about it. I'll call it red. Okay. And you don't see it there because it only shows 1 to 10. If you actually click over here, I've got 2 more. Industry referral. So I have industry referral in there. That's like if you get a lead from your lawyer or one of your vendors, your home inspector.
Phil, this is where they come from, not what they are. So it's not a buyer or a seller.
Yeah, so great
Okay.
question. There are two different types. There's two ways there's two different tags you're going to create. You're going to create a tag for your contacts, and you're going to create tags for your opportunities. So you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would a tag be different from a contact for an opportunity? Here's why. Maybe I just have certain people that I own. I might have 500 people in my database, but I only want to send 150 of them Christmas cards. So I'm going to create on the contact side tags, a Christmas card tag. So that way, when it comes Christmas time and I'm doing my Christmas cards, I just click on Christmas card tag and there's all my people. So your question, who they are, where they come from. I have it set up so my opportunities, you're right, this is where these opportunities have come from. On the contact side, I have way more tags created because, and well, here, I'll show you. You can come down here, you can see my contact tag. So the same spot, instead of hitting command, I hit contact, but you go into my contact tags. All these white ones, these are the ones that are automated in there. But I have them, are they a cold lead, a current client? Are they deep prospect? You'll see I got 37 tags in here for contacts. Facebook ad, family, Goresbrook, hockey, industry peer. So sometimes I've caught contacts in my database who are other realtors. You know, I want to tag them so much. So when I want to filter and get down to the nitty gritty, I don't want to be looking at Larry Allen or Ann De Silva or Laura Lee Little, not for any reason, but just because or maybe I do want to see those people. So you create tags under contacts and you can create tags under opportunities. And there's really, for me, it's just a method that I've come up with for myself. You know, you do want contacts for both, or tags for both contacts and opportunities. And you just need to decide, you just need to think of like, if I were to filter down my database, what are ways that I would want to filter them down by? And then tag them as such. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's an individual thing.
It is. And actually, you know, there is like guidelines from Keller Williams as well. But like one tag that I like is inside Nova Scotia, outside Nova Scotia. Well, I did pumpkins last year. I'm not delivering pumpkins to my clients who aren't in Nova Scotia. So I have a Nova Scotia tag. A lot of my clients get newsletters, an automated newsletter from me every month from Morris Marketing. I have those people tagged under Morris Marketing because I just want to look and see who's getting that newsletter. So, you know, create tags, and again, you can't break the system. And if you do it one way and you decide to change it later, it's really, really simple to do so. But I just want to go back to opportunities now that you've seen contacts. Here's the next step. And our brokerage is this is soon going to be, we're calling it compliance, but this is how we're going to submit paperwork to the brokerage. So if you're not doing it already. So let's go back to this opportunity I created earlier for 6 Chadwick Place. I want to go in here. Now I want to submit my documents to the brokerage. Well, I'm actually going to upload those documents to this opportunity, and the brokerage is just going to pull them from there. And what's better is you will always have these documents till the end of time and you'll always know exactly where they are. And you don't have to now send emails to the brokerage with 17 attachments. So what you do now, I'm back inside this opportunity. Did you guys see how I got there, right? I just went back to the home page and clicked on it. And then you just click on this documents page. And now, because I know she's going to be signing all these documents today, because we got an accepted offer as this morning, the place she's going to buy. So now we really need to get it sold. I clicked on the documents page, and it's going to be, you click over here and you go standard. So pick checklist type. It's a standard. We're not in PEI, or maybe you are. So it's a different checklist if you're in PEI, and it's a different checklist if you're commercial. I do residential, and I do residential in Nova Scotia, and that's standard. So I just click on that. Now, here it shows all of the documents that you need to submit to the brokerage. And it shows you what's required, and it shows you what's conditional. Has your client signed and working with a realtor? Actually, she has, because she signed that as part of the BDBA. So I go here, it actually brings up her folder already, WWR, signed. I hit choose, I assign it. Now, the WWR, the signed copy, which I know is going to be required to the brokerage, is now attached to this opportunity. It's attached to this file for 6 Chadwick Place.
Where is it finding that file?
So, great question. I have it saved on a file in my computer. I'm still do a couple steps that I don't necessarily have to. You can actually pull it right from Docusign. So you see this here, start a transaction. That's when you hit start, so I'm just gonna hit it. You hit start a transaction. It now brings you over in a new window, so you haven't lost this window. Now it's signing me into Docusign. And now I can actually bring documents directly from Docusign over to Command. So you never now have to download documents and re-upload them. You can literally send them for signature and then bring them over to Docusign. Now, I'm still clunky around Docusign, but we have training on Docusign on the Keller Williams. So every time we do one of these training sessions, Aaron uploads it to the Keller Williams Select Realty training page on YouTube. And we have 2 videos that are up there right now called Beginner Docusign and Advanced Docusign. The advanced is 18 minutes and the beginner is not that long either. I recommend that you watch both of them. I also recommend next month, we are actually going to be doing training on Tech Thursday at 10 a.m. for Docusign. And it all works together, but you need to learn the steps along the way. The first step is contacts. The second step is opportunities. And then you learn Docusign. And now you can do all of your paperwork without ever having to upload, download. You can actually take the forms from CREA, send those over to Docusign, and then send those forms over to your Command. It's quite impressive. But
Question, Phil.
yeah.
So on occasion, there's someone not doing DocuSign. They're actually doing manual signing.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I bring them home, scan them, and put them in my Dropbox.
Yeah.
If I put them in my Dropbox as combined PDF, which
Yeah.
I usually do.
Yeah.
And this is just a techie, like I don't know what I'm doing question. Can I separate that to bring them over if I'm browsing and I browse into my Dropbox, to bring that each one individually, like working with a realtor.
Yeah, that's what I just did. Because I still do it clunky. Even I don't do it perfect yet. I'm still learning. So that's all you just go add a file,
Mhm.
and you go browse your files, and then it just brings you to your computer.
Okay.
And you go anywhere and you grab whatever file you want, whatever file is specific to that, and then you just assign it to that place. And what's
Sorry, can I just
amazing
step in for
here,
a second?
yeah,
Mary Ann, you're talking about if they're all scanned together, right? Like one full document?
Yes.
oh,
Okay.
You
Yeah,
can split them.
yeah, you'll have to
yeah.
separate them and
You,
rescan them into whatever, so they're all individual.
if I had one annoyance, but I understand why it's done this way, is you can no longer upload even an offer with a counter offer as the fourth page. You actually need to separate the counter offer. And the reason why is the brokerage wants to know exactly where everything is so they don't have to go looking for it. It's not perfect for us, but you understand why they have to do it, because they just, so right now, if you look under standard over here, I'm on the listed part of it. So it has a WWR, the SDBA, the input form, FinTrack, listing cut, property online. This is all of the stuff that's required. But if I just upload, I used to always have my WWR attached to my SDBA or my WWR attached to my BDBA. But the brokerage doesn't know that, and they're so busy and they're doing so many deals that for the, like, I want to complain that really I've got to break up my documents, but you can appreciate that on their end, they don't want to click on every one of these links to look for my seller designated brokerage agreement, only to find that I haven't uploaded it. So they need the documents broken up, and it's understandable why they do.
Can I add another reason?
Yeah.
So it kind of protects you guys too, because our audits will be through here. So our brokers review all of the files. Right now, we give them paper files, but in here, they're reviewing each document. And we need like a timeline that the broker has looked at every single document when the auditors come. So there is a timeline that shows that, but they need to see that every document's been looked at. So if everything's in one file and we need to reject, let's say your SDBA, but everything's in one, we can't like specify which document that we're rejecting or approving. So that it makes it clearer for the audits as well.
So Jessica, when I'm sending you mine now, I send them all as one.
Yep.
And you separate them?
I don't. So we're not putting them into here. Like anyone who's still emailing documents, we're still making paper files. So if you're still emailing, you can leave them as one, but just in command, they do have to be separate.
So Mary Ann, right now, believe it or not, every single piece of paper that is sent to the brokerage has to be printed off. And those files get sent over. A lot of them have to get sent down to the Valley, because we have people in the Valley who review documents. So you can imagine this massive, how much paper goes through our office in the run of a year. And then all these files are being shared all over Nova Scotia so people can review our paperwork. We are eventually going to be, this is all going to be mandatory. It was supposed to be mandatory by the end of last year, but there's just such a big learning curve.
On our end too.
and on the office's end, they weren't ready to take it all at once this way, because they did it the same way for so long. But if you send over condo documents and you send over like declarations and bylaws and 10 AGM meeting minutes, they print every single one of those pages off.
This thick.
The folders are massive. And then they have to like, what do you do, Jessica? You purulate or courier them down to the Valley so Tammy Hines can review it on your behalf?
Yeah, Lynn lives in the valley, so she actually just takes a box and drops it off.
Right, yeah.
But-
So it's just this massive thing that we're trying to make easier. And it honestly, it's a learning curve for me. And it's been a learning curve for everybody. But once I'm still clunky around this. I am not perfect. I'm far from it. But now that I understand it and use it this way, I can't ever imagine going back the other direction. And what's amazing is I keep good files, I do, but I can now have a client reach out to me and say, Phil, do you have a copy of our agreement of purchase and sale from 2018? And I know it's always going to be, I know exactly where it is and where it will always be.
So question, if there's an additional piece like covenants, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah.
is there an accommodation in this
Of course.
list?
So let me show you that. So right now, that's what I was just getting at. So under the standard file that we've created, you'll notice that these are just the documents to list the property. None of these have anything to do with offers. So there's a listed page, and then there's an under contract page. So now if I click under contract, you have an agreement of purchase and sale, a counter offer, your trade record sheet, your sold cut sheet, a copy of your deposit, a PD. But so these are all things we know are required. But then a property disclosure statement is optional because it might not be there. A leased equipment is optional. Restrictive covenants is conditional, right? And so there's certain things here that are optional. There's certain things that are required, and there are certain things that are conditional on that offer. As you add each file, once you've added them for the day, so let's just go back here. So if you see under contract, you see how it's grayed out? I can't actually hit submit anything to the market center because I haven't uploaded anything. But if I go back to listed, I can submit this already because I've uploaded the WWR. I don't want to submit it yet because I'm not going to submit it until I have everything here. Now, sometimes you only have a few documents to submit. You don't, sometimes you might be late on the FinTrack. You don't have to wait until everything is in there to submit it to the market center. But I only submit I'll only submit it like once a day. I won't, or like when I'm in that file, I'll wait until I have this. I won't hit working with a realtor submit, seller SDBA submit, input form submit. I'd upload all three of these together and hit submit once.
So when you do submit under requirement, does they change from required to something else?
No, that stays there.
That stays
That
there.
stays, okay.
Yeah, but I'll tell you that our office is very good at reviewing files, and so what happens then? Great question. Whoever is reviewing your file can add comments to it. So now you're talking to somebody here under the comment page, and if somebody comments on one of your files, something's missing. See this bell up here with a little circle on it?
Yeah.
Right? Your compliance event has been approved for 301 Aberdeen. Okay, awesome. Right? Your compliance has been approved for okay, awesome. But if I'm missing something, they're going to go, Phil, you're missing your FinTrack. Phil, you're missing your deposit. And then so when you see a little dot on this bell up here, you know that whoever's reviewing your file is looking for something.
Okay.
And we also have the ability to quickly mark things missing. So you'll see right beside where it says required, it says uploaded or not uploaded. It'll say missing if we've marked it missing. So it's very easy to see what we need. So there's never really any question.
And they'll write comments. They'll just say, seller's initials missing on page 2, resubmit.
Okay.
And then you're like, oh, shoot, okay. So this is not, my intention is not to get into this. It was most to focus on opportunities, but this is where the brokerage is going. This is where our business is going. And I encourage you all to log in on Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. And you know, we're every month, if it's not opportunities or contacts or Docusign, because there's so much more over here we haven't even touched on. There's campaigns and smart plans, designs. Like Command is so encompassing and has so much to offer us that I recommend that you come back on Thursdays. But if you can't, go to our YouTube page. All of these videos are uploaded. You can go and just, this video here today is going to be uploaded later today. And you can come back and just watch it. What did you miss? What did Phil do there? And it's there for contacts. It's there for all of it. And I've really, it's such a great resource of information that I recommend it. My intention today was not to get into all of this. I just wanted to show you opportunities, but you have to have an opportunity to get to this page. You can't just jump here, because if you just jump here, they don't know what house you're talking about, what client you're talking about. So the steps are, you have to have a contact, and then you have to have an opportunity, and then you can submit your documents and do your transactions through Command as well. Those are the 3 steps that are involved in that. And then it goes, there's so much more, but it's a lot. And so what we try to do is teach it in stages. So, get your contacts in. Aaron is great for that. Get your opportunities set up, and then you can start submitting your documents. And what's great, guys, is this is free. This is, if we were to pay for a system like this, we would pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars a year, if not that. You can, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole because I'm not the one to teach it, but you can do, you can do Facebook ads through Command. You can create, who here uses Canva? Designs is your own Canva. You can do smart plans. So you can do automated emails for whatever you want them to be. But you got to start with contacts, opportunities, and then once you're there, the sky's the limit.
Can I ask a question about paperwork?
Yeah.
Probably more for the office, I guess. But I'm probably going to run into cases where people just don't have any digital technology and everything's going to be on paper.
Yeah.
If I'm emailing that in, I have an app called I'm trying to remember what it's called now. Cam Scanner, sorry. And if I'm sending something in via Cam Scanner, what's the best way to do that? As a PDF?
Yeah, so you can, I know with Cam Scanner, a lot of times, I don't know if you can do multiple pages and save it as one document.
You can if you want.
Okay, so that would be best to you can keep the SDBA all as one document, working with Realtor all as one, instead of each individual page.
Yes.
But are you talking for emailing in or for using Command?
Well, I mean, that would be the way I'd put them in Command, to be quite honest, if that works for you.
Yeah, so you would just save sort of each document as their own file and then upload
Okay,
it.
but as a PDF is okay?
Yeah, Command only takes PDFs, so.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yes, Command only takes, so that's a good point too. Sometimes you'll get a document in an Excel spreadsheet. Command won't accept it. You have to turn it into a PDF to upload it.
There's a lot of good, if you just Google, if you have a Word document, you can Google Word to PDF and you upload it and it shoots it back out at you as a PDF. So there's a lot of easy online ways to do it as well.
Okay, thank you.
I actually just scheduled a session about PDFs on, I think it's on the May calendar. But that's what I'll be going over is how to split PDFs, how to convert to a PDF, how to convert anything basically.
Yeah. Aaron and Jessica are the lifelines of this broker. Well, no, we have a few. But if you guys have questions about this stuff, they know Command better than 99.9% of that real estate agents do. So they're very good for questions. However, we ask that you try and attend the training or watch their videos as well, because I'm speaking on their behalf. There's nothing more frustrating than hosting an hour of training on something, and then 5 minutes later you get an email asking the same question that you just spent training an hour on and the person wasn't there for it. Now, that's not to say that they won't help you and they won't answer your questions. But we do this every Thursday morning at 10 a.m. and then we upload this onto YouTube. And we're here to help. We want to help, but we just ask that you participate. That's all I've got.
Thanks, Phil.
You're very
Yeah,
welcome.
thanks,
Mary.
Phil. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you guys have any questions, my email is phil.evans@kw.com. Send me an email, give me a phone call, and yeah, I'll get back to you as quickly as I can.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Enjoy your day, guys.
You too.
Happy
Bye.
sailing.